Hi everyone, welcome to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast, your daily audio summary of the latest news reported in the Ukrainian media. We would really appreciate if you could recommend us to your friends and family as well as share information on social media. Spread the word, people, spread the word. My name is Artem, and here is the news. For 277 days, Ukraine stands strong against the forces of the Russian invasion. In his evening video address, President Volodymyr Zelenskyy informed that after the massive terrorist attack last Wednesday in most regions of the country, already on Sunday, only stabilization schedules of the outages are in effect. He thanked thousands of people who worked round the clock all over Ukraine to restore light, water, heat, and communication. Zelenskyy separately expressed his gratitude to businesses that participated and shared their offices, cafes, and other facilities with people who needed help. According to the president, Russia is preparing new strikes, and as long as they have missiles, they won't stop. He warned that the upcoming week can be as hard as the one that passes. Reuters informs that the UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak intends to maintain or increase military aid to Ukraine next year, reports Ukrainska Pravda. With reference to an excerpt from the first major foreign policy speech which Sunak plans to deliver on November 28, media says that the UK plans to provide new air defense support to Ukraine. The publication notes that the British government's support for Ukraine has remained unchanged after the change of prime ministers. The General Staff of Ukraine informs that the enemy is preparing to transfer separate units of their troops from Belarus to the occupied territories of Ukraine, reports Union. The aim of such maneuvers is to strengthen the units that have suffered losses. According to the US Institute for the Study of War, the Russian military clearly assesses that Ukrainian forces could cross the Dnipro River and conduct counteroffensive operations in the eastern Kherson region, possibly threatening all the critical ground lines of communications from Crimea to the mainland, reports Ukrainska Pravda. The experts say that the Russian forces have been digging trench lines and concentration areas in eastern Kherson since early October 2022 in obvious preparation for the withdrawal from the west bank of the Dnipro River and Kherson city. Russian troops are preparing either to defend in depth or to conduct operational or strategic delay operations. Russian forces clearly do not expect to be able to prevent Ukrainian troops from getting across the river, nor are the Russians prioritizing defensive positions to stop such a crossing. The Russian military is setting conditions for a protracted defense in eastern Kherson Oblast that could allow the establishment of a solid Ukrainian lodgment on the eastern bank of the Dnipro River. The number of victims as a result of a Russian missile strike on Vyshgorod, Kyiv region on November 23rd increased to 7 people killed and 35 injured, reports Slovo i Dilo. According to the head of the Kyiv region police, Andriy Nebytov, another woman died yesterday morning. He said that 6 of the injured are children. The youngest girl is 5 years old. Over 1 million Ukrainian refugees have been registered in Germany since the beginning of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, reports European Pravda. According to the UN refugee agency UNHCR, since February 24th, about 7.9 million people from Ukraine are seeking protection abroad due to the war. Poland accepted the most Ukrainian refugees, more than 1.5 million people. The Czech Republic also received many Ukrainians in relation to the number of inhabitants, namely about 463,000. About 119,000 refugees are registered in France, about 173,000 in Italy, and about 154,000 in Spain. Earlier, the European Commission said that countries that accept Ukrainian refugees, such as Germany and Poland, will have to adapt to the fact that Ukrainians will remain in the country for many years after the end of the war. If you like what we do and would like to tip us, you can now do so directly to our PayPal. Check out the link in the description to this episode for more details. And as usual, you can subscribe to our Patreon. In gratitude for your help, we will give you access to a series of exclusive episodes on wartime life in Ukraine. We call on you to demand from governments of your countries to impose the toughest sanctions possible on Russia and its citizens to stop their invasion of Ukraine.